You can turn into a woman whenever you want, but your dad doesn't know it's you and he gets a boner every time he sees you. Why are you assuming I'm gonna turn into a woman in front of my father? This time I asked you guys to send me your most creative would you press the buttons? Moral dilemmas and difficult questions that aim to test our ethics and wills as human beings. Turns out some of you don't know what a difficult question is, because the amount of questions that were like, would you take $1 million, but you died to a gorilla molestation, was actually quite high. So we'll just use this as a learning opportunity. As always, there were so many submissions, so thank you all, and if you didn't make it into this video, hopefully I got you next time. Let's get right into this. Would you press the button? Every blind person regains their eyesight, but they lose their eyesight again after a month. Why are you evil? Why are you the devil? Like, what did blind people do to you? I get there's an argument to help them out, help them see for a little bit, but this almost reads like, let's give them something and take it away. Also, if you think about this more critically, if you give the blind people vision, I click this button, and they don't know that they're gonna lose it again in a month. The amount of casualties of Mr. Robert walking across the street because he gave away his service dog, and then all of a sudden he loses his vision, and there's a fucking 18-wheeler 2 seconds away, would probably be higher than you expect. So I don't think I can press this button for multiple reasons, but thank you, Kingpin. I appreciate this one. Alright, you're 6'5", incredibly handsome, rich, athletic, and a god gamer, so basically everything that I already am plus rich, but women feel pain when they give birth and have periods every month? No. I'm getting a little emotional right now because I have to actually tell you that this already happens. I know. They talk about intelligent design. They talk about a higher power, and they give us this. So as much as it pains me to continue this harsh, cruel reality, I'm smashing that button, baby. Alright, would you press the button? Have Drake as a close friend. But you have to scream the N-word to him instead of saying hello. What's the downside? Okay, on the real though, first of all, which Drake are we talking about? Are we talking about Aubrey Graham, or are we talking about Drake Bell? Because first of all, that might change my answer. And second of all, okay, you have to scream the N-word to him instead of saying hello. I feel like I don't say hello to my friends that often, so I feel like I can just omit that part of our relationship, and then I'm just friends with a celebrity. I feel like this question would have been more interesting if we switched the positive and negative outcomes, right? You get to scream the N-word instead of saying hello, but you have Drake as a close friend. Although I'm over 18, so this might change things a little bit. I don't know how that works. In that case, though, I don't think I'm clicking the button. All right, here's an interesting one. Your parents get a lifespan increase of 5 years each, but it takes 5 years off your own lifespan. Now, utility says that you should click this button because you get an increase of 10 years for only 5 years off of yours. However, do I really want to live 5 years less for my parents to live more? Okay, that sounds really bad that I'm questioning this at all. The answer is probably yes. I mean, the more I think about this, this has to be a yes. Especially if you love your parents, which I do. If you don't, El Bozo. But yeah, I feel like I would increase them for 5. I get to spend more time with my parents. Taking 5 years off your own lifespan, like unless you die at 30, probably isn't that big a deal. Like if I'm making it to like 90, 80, like dude, no love lost here. Honestly, probably better. Would you press the button? You go to September 10th, 2001, but you become blind, deaf, and mute. Like this is what I'm talking about. So why would I click this button? What kind of Helen Keller ass 9/11 conspiracy is this? Okay, we're Googling this, actually. Helen Keller 9/11. Helen Keller archive lost in World Trade Center attack. Okay, well, we learned something new, but there doesn't seem to be a conspiracy. So I don't get the fucking point of this question. Unless you're suggesting that going to September 10th, 2001 is a big enough buff to then become blind, deaf, and mute. Like, what, you're trying to get me to stop fucking 9/11? I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. Being blind, deaf, and mute is not gonna help me. Especially once the second plane hits the tower. If you press the button, you can control her. If she presses it, she controls you. But For 1 year and after, you will know everything she's done to you, and the same applies for her. Also, there's a 10% chance of everyone in the family learns about the situation. Holy shit, there's so much going on here. And the biggest question is, who the fuck is she? No, this is some serious business, dude. There's a 10% chance of the family learning about the situation. That sounds fucking scary. I don't know if I can press the button. It is only for 1 year and 1 year after, though. Although, dude, I can control her. How does she get to press the button also? What is going on here? Is this a cry for help? I'm going to ask my good friend ChatGPT to help me decipher this message, and then we'll see what we can do. I want to punch ChatGPT in the face so bad. This is peak moral dilemma meets anime plot device, and I love it. Let's break it down. He actually breaks down the pros and cons of pressing the button. The real question, would she press the button? If you trust her not to, then you pressing it could be a safe move. So what's the final verdict? They would press the button only if we trust her completely not to press it first. So probably not, but I'd stare at that button for way too long. Okay, that's my answer to you. Good viewer. Alright, you become a respectable French philosopher and leave great impact on modern culture. Nope, I am not being French, move along. Would you press the button? Have a button that makes you grant a wish. But every time you press the button, 10 kids from Africa die. They have to be from Africa. When people ask questions like these, it's never just children. It's always like African children. How do we make the children as sad as possible? Take him to fucking Africa. Alright, I'm assume that this question is not making me grant a wish like it's written, but gets my wish granted. And then I actually have to think about it. Do I want to be an evil person? Or do I want to be filthy, stinking rich? What's the difference? Alright, morally, ethically, we all know that we should never click this button. The issue is, the world is so big, and we really just don't know that many people in it, that clicking this button has no effect on our lives. Mental state, maybe. But, am I enough of a sociopath to not actually have any adverse effects? Actually, the way this question is written, you should definitely click the button, because I never have to click the button that grants me a wish. I will just have it. So if I ever need to grant a wish, I will be able to. Otherwise, I can save the 10 kids from Africa. Well, I can even save more kids from Africa if I have that button. So yes, I'm clicking the button. This one's incredibly classic. You immediately gain $10 million, but you lose 10 years of your life. I've thought about this multiple times before. I think that the answer has to be yes. I think that $10 million now is definitely worth 10 years in the future. Again, provided that you don't die super early. Like, if you die at a reasonable age still, even like 60, 70, $10 million is gonna make your life go really far before that. Even if you look at it in terms of work, you never have to work again, so you save at least 10 years of your life from working, and then you can go spend the rest of your life doing whatever the fuck you want. I mean, I feel like you're a fool if you don't click this button, so I'm doing it. Hopefully the kids in Africa are safe. Holy shit. Have godlike abilities, never get a paper cut, taking less time to blink. That would be pretty useful sometimes. But you have to throw the first punch against the gorilla. The gorilla 100 men versus a gorilla. Man, these godlike abilities are pretty good, so I think I am gonna press the button just because I get to throw the punch against a gorilla. I think I would set the tone for humanity. The gorilla might be a little scared. It's Shaq or me. I feel like it's one of us going first. Also, if I have godlike abilities, the gorilla can't even beat me. It can't kill me. I would use my ability to blink really fast, so I would have more time to scan the surroundings and the gorilla. I would have almost like some precognition. I just don't think it could touch me at that point. I'm pretty quick. Watch this. Well, I know you just saw that. Maybe not, actually. So yeah, I think I'd click the button. Would you press the button? You have the ability to win any argument no matter what, but every time you use it, you moan uncontrollably like a hentai character for 5 seconds. I don't know what that sounds like at all. This actually sounds super OP. Having the ability to win any argument makes you like skyrocket to the top of the corporate world, I feel like. So I think I am gonna click the button. Plus, it would be a huge flex to win an argument against the CEO, basically just get his position. And then as your battle cry of winning, you're like, ooh, ah, ah, ah! Nope, that's a monkey. That wasn't hentai. Let me practice. Okay, this is really cringe, but I think I got it. I'm only gonna do this once to show how cool a flex it would be if you win an argument like this. And then you say, ah, ah, And now we move on. You are attractive to everyone in the world, but this includes all your friends and family. I'm spam clicking this button. I mean, it's already true, but I'm spam clicking this button. Me being attractive to all my friends and family doesn't matter. Listen, I don't know what kind of people you are, but if you're attracted to someone, that doesn't mean you have to act on it, right? Right? Like, you're not a politician, man. You're not a 60-year-old white guy. Who knows? Maybe you actually are a 60-plus-year-old white man. My demographic says that I have like 0.1% viewers that are like this. But this is just so OP. Pretty privilege is a real thing. And now I have it for everyone in the world. Spam click, baby. You got it. I don't know how you guys think of these. This is what I'm talking about. The stupid ones. You can have sex with any black person you want non-stop, LeBron, but you die 3 days later? Why the fuck would I click this button? I guess I answered that question in the first part, huh? Just kidding. No. I'm not clicking the button. No. Also, like, what is non-stop here? I mean, like, without, the sex is non-stop, or my abilities are non-stop for the 3 days which I'm left alive? No. You can teleport anywhere instantly, but each teleportation makes you more and more gay? What does that even mean? At what point am I just fully gay? What happens when I am fully gay? Do I revert? Teleportation's pretty good. I've been seeing a lot of teleporting would you press the buttons. A lot of them included having to like fuck my mother afterwards. So in those cases, no, but something like this, I mean, seems like a pretty useful thing. You even if you just only use it once, you're slightly more gay. Also, how much more gay am I becoming? Am I the same person? That's pretty important to me. Overall, yeah, I think I'm pressing the button. I can teleport anywhere instantly if I want, and I just become a little more fruity zesty. And English, apparently. That was pretty bad. My bad, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. Another, you have to fuck your mom. Okay. You guys are putting your creativity to good work. I like to see it. Would you press the button? You wake up in your childhood bed, given the chance to live life again. But you can't change anything, only watch. Trapped inside yourself. Why the fuck would I click this button? Look at the verbiage you yourself used. Trapped. Inside yourself. It sounds like a bad thing. Did you write this out and you were like, oh yes, this is one that Luca just might accept? I mean, I guess it'd be kind of cool to like relive everything, and then I guess once I'm my age, I can continue living, because hopefully I don't just die once I reach my age. But like, dude, watching a movie of yourself every single waking hour would probably be so boring. I have to go through school again. Hell no, not clicking that button. Also, if I'm like my adult self living in my child body, I would have to go through all the embarrassing shit that I've had to go through in school, all the cringe moments, sad moments, yeah, the happy moments too, but I feel like they're not even as happy because I've already lived them. The cringe is just exponentially worse. Here's an interesting philosophical one. You get infinite pleasure and happiness, but you can't do anything other than sitting and feeling the pleasure for eternity, and you're immortal, meaning you can't do anything forever other than just feeling it. Now the question is that infinite happiness worth just sitting around? Well, like, even if you're sitting around, you're feeling infinite happiness and pleasure, so it doesn't sound that bad. But conversely, isn't pain and grief what makes the happy moments worth living? I think the way the question is set up, you should click the button, because it's basically you being in heaven for all of eternity. That being said, I'm not clicking the button, baby. I like this twisted, wretched experience we call life. I'm a struggler, baby. This is the face of a candid face of a struggler. A mosaic of himself. You get a gun that shoots gorillas, untamed and angry, but you lose both of your legs. No. You come liquid gold. Yes, I do. And are immune to its heat, but a random 10% of the world's population gets cancer the instant you push this button. This can include you. 10% of the world's population? Are you fucking insane? Do you know how many people that is? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna click this button. Unless, how much do you ejaculate? 3 milliliters average of liquid gold worth. quick Googles to just 20 bucks each time, that not worth, man. I don't think I can sacrifice 10% of the world's population and give them cancer for 20 bucks each time. Would you press the button? Your YouTube career skyrockets to a new height and you make millions, but you get outed as a predator in 5 years and lose it all. So typical YouTube career, except you also lose it all. So I guess not. But if it was a typical YouTube career, you know, that's something to consider. All right, you're immune to Roblox voice chat bans and suspensions. That has never happened to me. Thank you very much. But you have to use your voice chat powers to discriminate against minorities whenever the opportunity arises. No, I am not that kind of person. Also, I feel like the voice chat bans, especially when I'm playing Roblox, they serve as a friendly reminder to kids to not go down the bad path. You know, when I'm talking to them, having a good time, like a friendly time, and then eventually I stop talking to them because they realize that I said fucking shit, damn. They realize, oh, maybe we don't want to be like that guy after all. So again, I'm the martyr. I'm not clicking the button. Also, the whole discriminating against minorities thing, I'm not on board for that. Would you press the button? Have everything you could ever want. Partner of your dreams, perfect figure, health regardless of your habit, generational wealth, but each day an extra homeless person decides they want to sleep in your garden and they can't be moved or bribed to leave, or you die. Can I kill them? This changes everything. This fucking sucks. Absolutely not. Each day, on like day 5, this already becomes the worst thing that's ever happened to any person ever. So no. And also, if they are sleeping in my garden every day and they're multiplying like fucking rabbits, then I don't have everything that I could ever want. No, I'm not clicking the button. What's the reason to click the button? Like brick throwing practice? Honey bun practice? Would I bring equality to the world, but I become registered and everyone thinks of me as the equivalent of Epstein? I'm clicking that button. I'm becoming a martyr. But I'm not even becoming that big a martyr because I think that people would still side with me. There are legitimately groups of people that would be like, oh yeah, no man, he's chill. Plus, the upside is just way too big. Bringing equality to the world, I mean, in my own little world, I have saved everyone. I've got to do it. Yes, I may eventually die in a prison, but probably worth. Holy. You get time stop, but all feminist literature gets erased. You know what? I'm gonna click the button. I'm gonna click the button and then I'm gonna stop time. And I'm not gonna undo the stop time until I have rewritten every single feminist piece of literature, plus more, so that no one ever has a world without it. And we can live in harmony all together. And then I could do really cool time stop things, like rob banks and take people's clothes off. Alright, you gain the ability to see into the future, but all futures are stagnant and cannot change whatever you do. I never really know what to do in this situation when I hear it. I feel like my instinct says that I would not click this. I think there's a really strong argument for clicking it though, because even if it can't change, it's like we have one life, right? So it's as though everything is, in our experience, already predetermined, even though we have free will. Not that we ever really know. But I don't think I want to see my future. I feel like part of life is experiencing or not knowing what's going to happen next. Especially if I can't change anything, then I'll just kind of be salty when I see, like, sad shit. So, probably not, right? Also, if you do see something sad or something bad that's about to happen to you, you can't do anything to change it, so you just have to live with the mental blow of knowing that that's coming soon. Hell no. I prefer ignorance. It's bliss, I hear. You have a finger that can cure any sickness with a touch. Restore any living thing to perfect health. That sounds incredibly overpowered. But you'll be extremely attracted to the lives you heal forever. I'm definitely clicking this button. Like I said, first of all, I am not as deranged as you. I could hold myself back, even being attracted to people, so I don't have to act on it. Plus, this power is ridiculous. Heal anything to perfect health? I mean, I become like the best person in the world, and I become super rich, and I'm very happy with what I'm able to do. So yes, I'm clicking this button. And then I'll open up my own private clinic, charge people a shit ton of money for private healthcare, sometimes with long waiting times. That already exists. And no minors allowed. You get to meet JD Vance, but you die soon after? I'm not clicking the button unless I also get a hard copy of Undertale. Would you press the button? You get Spider-Man powers, but every time you see a black person, you must ride a horse for 3 hours? Who do you think I am? Do you think I avoid black people? I would be constantly riding a horse. Like, I would never get off this motherfucker. Where do you think I live? This sounds so ass. The best place for Spider-Man powers is New York. And if you're living in New York, you're never getting off this horse. The only time I should click this is if I'm moving back to Serbia. And I need to do that with like a blindfold on the plane. And then once I get there, it's so homogeneous that maybe I'll ride a horse every couple of days or something. This is not worth for Spider-Man powers. I guess you can like shoot webs while you're on the horse, but no, I'm not clicking the button. You get 3 wishes for free. You can't wish for broken stuff like immortality, unlimited wishes. Okay. Fucking rule shark. But you have to press every single button submitted here. Hell the fuck no. Some of these I couldn't read. I couldn't put them on YouTube. Legitimately, I would be afraid to get canceled, demonetized, FBI show up at my door, channel removed. Fuck my mom. So Luca, you say you're a feminist, huh? Yes. If you push the button, you'll become 6'3" and period cramps will disappear for all women forever. Yes, I'm clicking the button. But you must shoulder the weight of period cramps all by yourself. You experience period cramps 5 times stronger than normal 6 days a week. You get a day off so you can get a false sense of security and joy. You don't know when the off day will be in the week. I've got to do it. I've got to do it. And I'm bringing equality to the world, like I'm Epstein. Actually, that's not what he did, but that was a throwback to earlier in the video. Point is, I'm doing it. I mean, this is like actually martyrdom. I feel like this just helps so many people, and I get tortured. But like I said, I'm a struggler, and I have main character syndrome, so yeah. Well, why not? Plus, I get an off day. You were so much nicer than you needed to be. Like, I'm doing everything on my off day. I'll realize when it's the off day. I'm pretty sure. The other days, I'm just ready. 5 times stronger than normal could be really, really bad, but it's not like so crippling that I could never do anything. I just have to like prepare every single day. You can lock in on command, but you have erectile dysfunction. It just doesn't sound like I can lock in on command. So no, I'm not clicking the button, unfortunately. If you press the button, you will 1v1 LeBron, but after you lose, he will slap your ass. This just sounds like guys being bros, man, you know? Locker room type beat, played a tough, sweaty game of basketball. Afterwards, he says, "Good work, champ." Slaps me. May as well do it, I feel like. What's to lose here? You can turn into a woman whenever you want, but your dad doesn't know it's you and he gets a boner every time he sees you. Why are you assuming I'm gonna turn into a woman in front of my father? Honestly, I feel like, sure, I'll click the button. I mean, it's a superpower, right? I can turn into gender-bent Luca, which, as we've established, is pretty damn hot. I just don't have to turn into it in front of my dad. So yes, I'll click the button. And I mean, even if I do, take it as a compliment. What a strange question. What inspired you to ask this? How'd you come up with this? Dad? The abolition of all forms of inequality around the world. This includes social, political, economic, and environmental inequalities. All people should have equal access to education, healthcare, employment opportunities, and other basic needs, regardless of their race, class, or gender identity. This would lead to a fairer society where everyone can participate in meaningful dialogue to create positive change in their communities. Additionally, it would reduce poverty levels and increase global cooperation, allowing more individuals to reach their potential and become productive members of society. But fuck your mom. Classic. No, I'm not clicking that button, but that was answering your guys' would you press the buttons. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know what you guys would do about some of these questions, and if you have any ideas for other community discussion videos like these or other games to play series to cover real world things to do, drop them in the comments down below. Go check out other videos on the channel. We have a whole library of variety content. We're trying to grow and bring YouTube back to the days of old when it was sunshine and rainbows and everything else. I love you until next time. I said that backwards, but it doesn't matter. Goodbye.